Hello, hello, hello. Come right on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come right on in. Welcome today. Welcome to one and all. Welcome one more time to Current Events Now. Current Events Now. We're happy to have you here today. For those of you that may be new, we'd ask that you hit the like button, and we'd also like to have you as a subscriber. So, if you will, hit subscribe. Today on Current Events Now, we're going to talk about something that has burst on the scene. I know at the beginning of 2024, it was said that that would be the year of reveal. And I truly believe that it met that calling when it said it would be the year of reveal. There was so much revealed in 2024. So many people's mess was laid bare for the whole world to see. And so today's topic here on Current Events Now is, why are so many preachers being exposed? Why are so many preachers being exposed? Have you thought about that? And did you think about exactly how many preachers have been exposed down through 2024 and it's spilling over into 2025? I tell you, whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, the Bible speaks that God in the end times, He said He would pull back the covers and expose those who are not of Him. And certainly He is holding to His word. He is holding to His creed that He spoke. And that's what we're seeing. I believe that's what we're seeing, people. I think as growing up, as a young boy, Jimmy Swaggart, one of the most world-renowned preachers that we know, could preach you happy when you were sad. The man was truly blessed and truly of God. But in the early 80s, he had many ungodly things happen, such as out here, it was caught with a prostitute, and and he went before the world, really, because he got on TV and he said he had sinned. He cried before his church and said, "I have sinned." And truly he had sinned. And he was never the same. It brought his ministry down. The money dried up. We stopped seeing him on TV like we had never seen him before. And that is all because the covers were pulled back, and Jimmy Swaggart's sins, his sexual addiction to prostitutes was laid bare for the whole world to see. And I think about so many. Jim Baker, he went to jail for taking the monies and putting it in his pocket that those old people were sending into Jim and Tammy Faye's show. Every day he's on there begging for money to build big lavish hotels and a park where you could come and he could take all your money. So he ended up in jail and had an affair with the secretary. Tammy Faye Baker divorced him while he went to jail. And that of course I don't have to say was history, but that was a horrible, horrible time. We have seen so many preachers that have been exposed. Now let us bring it full circle. We talked to Bishop Jimmy Swaggart. Now we're going to look at Bishop Eddie Long. I love Bishop Eddie Long. I grew up watching him. I believed in him. And then when the young men come out and said that he had sexual relations with them, and that he didn't deny it. He said he had 7 stones and he hadn't thrown them yet, and he never did, and he died with that cloud hanging over him with these young men. But let it be known that there was a settlement, and you don't give out monies if something isn't right. So, but it really, that one was one that stung, because I loved Bishop Eddie Long, and I hated to see that go down the way that it did. But now we come full circle today. Bishop T.D. Jakes, one of the world-renowned preachers are world over caught up in affairs of that preachers should not be caught up in with P. Diddy over there partying, shaking his rump and saying happy birthday to you, P. Diddy. And, just a lot of untoward sin over that way. So that has really put a scourge on his name. And then this young blood man has broke on the scene saying that he tried to kiss him and tried to have his way with him. And he had to run out of his place before anything else could happen. So, and now he's filed a lawsuit against this young blood man. And so that's going to come up in this year. We'll probably have a trial on that. And so all of that dirt will be laid bare for everyone to see. But, Donnie Swaggart during the election, he called out the Kojic church, talking about how can y'all vote for that woman. Called her that woman, didn't even call her by her name. And tried to scold the blacks and whole, but more so the Kojic church, saying, how can y'all vote for her? And, it was so ugly the way that he was saying it. How can it vote for her? What do you mean? Donald Trump is nobody's prayer book. He's nobody's prayer book. And so Bishop Shears didn't respond to him. He just, he didn't respond to him. But now Bishop Bobby Hilton, which is in Kojic, responded. And I want you to take a listen as to what he said.
The individual that was his vice president ran away from him. You want us to position ourselves under this fella that some of the highest levels of military generals said stay away from him. You want us to position ourselves under, there's about 13 people that were in his staff that said, we run and run. You want us to be next to that? You calling him holy? You calling the one that was sued by the lady because of what he did to her and owes her all kind of millions? You calling him holy? You want us to get under that? You want us to position ourselves under that gentleman that, what was that, January 6th, 2020. You upset because you lost. He was upset because he lost, and folk are busting into the Capitol building with their flags, and folk are running for their life, including his vice president. You want us to position ourselves under that Donnie Swaggart? Well, let me just go on it. It would take me another hour to say everything I could say, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say this. Be careful, sir, when you think you can stand up and call out a black church and our mama and our daddy. Listen, sir, we all need the help of the Lord every day of our life. And Pastor Donnie Swaggart, if you don't understand that, if you don't believe that, ask your daddy.
Well, I guess he told him. He told him to ask his daddy. So, he tried to call out black people and say, how can y'all vote for that woman? Call her that woman. So, Bishop took care of it. And so we move on to Pastor Gray. He had a reality show there, and I watched it. I was really taken with him during that time, and I still love him. But it hurt me to my heart that he was out here cheating on his wife over and over and over again. You know, how many times did you cheat on somebody before you look at her and you say, why are you staying? Why are you staying in that? You must like it. But I'm telling you, the year of reveal was so great. So many preachers, that were really the covers were pulled back for us to see. I think about just Bishop Clarence McClendon. Used to be a household name. Now he's disgraced. And he's fought with everybody from Bishop Paul E. Morton, which kind of took him under his wing, to Roland Martin, to Diedrich Haddon. This man has fought with everybody. And now word is he's on his third marriage. He marries like he changes a pair of shoes. But at any rate, he tried to come after Roland Martin, and Roland Martin had some good words for him. Take a listen.
Degraded and shamed people and treated them with bad behavior. And you didn't hear Bishop Clarence McClendon say a word about Donald Trump, who has cheated small businesses out of their money. You didn't hear him say anything about how he has mistreated people, how he has called folk out of their name. You heard none of that. No, what you heard was a preaching pimp who wants to sit here and excuse the antics of somebody who is pure evil. And Bishop Clarence McClendon, please help me out. We ain't seen you out in these streets fighting on behalf of regular, ordinary folk. We haven't seen you talking about these important issues. You sound the same as crazy Donnie Swaggart down there in Baton Rouge. Now, you may have been on that preaching reality show, but please tell me exactly what have you done. You now want to call out by...
Yeah, what have you done, Clarence McClendon, besides take people's money? What have you done besides get in fights with everybody? And now here you are, disgraced. No one wants to be bothered with you. And how you could turn your back and talk about Pastor Paul Morton, of all peoples, who is a dearly loved man and a God-fearing man, and you fight with him. You still fight with Diedrich Haddon. But Diedrich Haddon had some words for your butt too. And I want y'all to take a listen. Let me see if I can find it. Take a listen to Diedrich Haddon. He got some words he wanted Clarence to know.
Cares what you did back in the day and what nobody cares. You cannot disrespect all preachers that are supporting Kamala Harris and call them pimp preachers, and then when they turn around and handle you and Roland Martin deals with you, now you want to curse him. That ain't no curse. That's a whole, it went nowhere. You can't be a person that can dish it but can't take it. And that's what I see. No, you out there just being bold, loud, strong, and wrong at your church because you got your amen corner. And when somebody tells you the truth about you, about the situation, now you want to go deep and spiritual and say you're the prophet, I am the prophet, and you're going to die and have a cardio problem, and you got high blood. That's foolishness, and God has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he sure don't. Try to tell Roland Martin your blood pressure gonna go out of control. Trying to put the hoodoo on it. You better be careful when you trying to speak evil on people, cause it'll turn on you. Believe me, it will. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to put evil on Roland Martin. How about his blood pressure was going to give him a stroke and all this. Clarence McClendon, I got to say this. God is disappointed in you. And if you don't get your soul right, you're going straight to hell. On a happy trip. But let us move on. Now we come full circle today with the prophets. Look like the prophets is fighting. The bishops fight, the preachers fighting. The prophets are fighting. Oh, now you got Bishop E.J. Newton, excuse me, I think that's how you say his name, Newton, E.J. Newton, Prophet Newton, fighting with Prophet Elias Lovely. They're fighting, and Newton says that Lovely is a warlock. He's a witch. He practices voodoo and hoodoo. And so Eli Lovey has sued him for the putting these words out there that he's a witch and a warlock. Says it's upset. He's lost $1 million over him getting out here, Newton, Bishop Prophet Newton, saying that he practices voodoo and witchcraft. And Newton said he had went to Africa and Ghana with him over, and he went to see some witch doctor over there, and he was doing all. He said Newton said he know voodoo when he see it. He know it. He called it something else, but he said he know it when he see it, and he said that's what it was, voodoo. And so Eli Lovely has brought a lawsuit against Newton. It says Newton's cost him millions of dollars that is not going. That people ain't putting in them pots no more. The money drying up because he had an affair with this chick named Gigi, who's all over social media. She is a woman scorned because I guess she thought he was gonna marry her, and when that didn't materialize, well, she got angry and she's all over the internet talking about their affair. Said that she was pregnant by him. Said he went and met up with the witch doctor and put a spell on her, and she lost the baby. And so it sounded like a whole lot of voodoo going on to me. But I'm telling you, this is sad. This really, for people who are Christians, and I am a Christian, but for people who is a Christian, this really gives us a black eye. The world looks at this and says, why in the world would I want to be a part of that? They over there, I mean, that's a worse than a soap opera going on over there. They running with hoes. They run around cheating. People is suing. Folks is fighting and saying folks go catch a heart attack and they putting voodoo on one another. I mean, good God, you could make this stuff up. This is reality. And this all happened in 2024 and is now carrying over into 2025. Do you believe God is doing this to pull back the covers and let everybody see? Because his word said that he would show the world, pull it back for all to see, that people who say that they're of him, they're not of him. And so what I would say to people who are Christians, what I say to people who are thinking about becoming a Christian, this is the end times, and things like this is going to happen. So but the scripture says that this stuff would happen, so it has to. And so I would ask you to take that under consideration. And don't let what you're seeing from a lot of these preachers deter you from seeking God. Because he is real. And he is still on the throne. But he's also pulling back the covers and showing the naked truth on a lot of these money peddling, hoe-hopping, good for nothing, not of him preachers, so-called preachers. Look at Bishop Whitehead. He was up there in the pulpit, had more jewelry on, had so much jewelry on, and then he gonna threaten, say you bet not even think about coming and touching my jewelry. And some guys went up in there. It ain't funny, but they went up in there and took his jewelry. And to make a long story short, to give you the short version, it was a setup. He actually hired these guys to come in and rob him so that he could then call the insurance company and file on it, and file on it he did, and now his butt's in jail for a very, very long time. God ain't playing. He's not playing with these preachers. They do it too much. So we wanted to bring this to you, to give you this to think about. Because while you're seeing these preachers up here with the covers being laid bare, Paula White, look at that woman, Talk about some angels from Africa come and help Trump. No, ain't no. He called Africa shithole countries. You really think some African angels, Paula White, was coming to help him? Are you serious? Are you serious? Well, folks, the next time, look for something more in detail as we come back to you on current events now. But until the next time, may God be with you and take care of yourself.